Welcome to Whigs Tories American Revolution. This is some alpha footage of the alpha playtest, so do keep in mind a lot of the stuff you see here is subject to change and isn't final. There are two factions to select. You have the British and also the United States, but because this is, of course, American Revolution, we are going to select the United States, and there are 6 different regiments you can choose from on the US side. I think there's about 7 or 8 on the British one, but nevertheless, the US have a nice selection of units indeed. You've got Washington's Guards, which are my favourite looking uniforms in the game, and I'll show those here in a moment when we spawn in. But there is a nice selection to choose from. You can also select your class, which is Ranker or Officer in the Alpha. But of course there will be Colours, Fifer and Drummer as well at a later stage, once I believe Alpha is done, or they will be added in due course. But let's go ahead and select the Washington's Guards to begin with. And you can go ahead and just either select Ranker or Officer, but I'm going to be a Ranker. And look at this, look at those uniforms. I must say the graphics for this game aren't the most realistic, however, I do think it's quite charming. I think it fits the time period very well. It's very rustic, and I like it. I do like it. I was unsure at first, but I've had a little bit of time to think about it, and I think I like it. I think it's really, really pleasant to look at. I think it's very charming of the time period. So let's take a look at some of the more mechanic side of things of the game. There's a nice little shove there for the melee system, and that will actually push your opponent away, push him back a little bit so you can get a cheeky upper attack or a lower stab on him. There's a bit of blocking there for you. The blocking is really responsive. As soon as I'm clicking that right mouse button, it does that block, which is really, really impressive. There's also head movement in this game, as you can see, if you take a closer look at the way my character looks left and right. Those head movements are so subtle, but it adds to the charm of this game. You're going to hear a lot of the word charm in this video because it does have a lot of charm, this game does. So there are some stabs there. There's the upper and also lower. Those were also quite responsive. There are also different weapons you can select and pick up in the game. Right now I'm using the musket, but you can select a sword or also a tomahawk. You can also bash those very own tomahawks off the table, like I accidentally did when I was trying to press E and I fat-fingered my F. But you can pick up those weapons like this. Here we go, we've got a tomahawk now, and you just scroll wheel to select that and your musket goes on the back, which is really, really nice. And let's get my revenge on this British soldier for shooting me. There he goes. That's what happens, you get a tomahawk to the face. There is also a sword, like I said, and you can attack left, right, and lower. The upper attack animation I don't think is added to the game yet, so that's why it wasn't here. But you can block in all directions to make sure you don't get killed by a musket. So there are also some animations in the game for insults and cheering. The insult will pretty much just do like a little poke in the air, like you're pointing at an enemy. And then the cheers, put your fists in the air. Sometimes you'll be putting your hat in the air, you'll be putting your musket in the air, or even just your very own fist. But here is the hat one, which is my favourite out of the 3 I think there is. Here's a bit of melee for you as well. This was probably one of the better fights I had in melee. There were 2 blocks and a nice stab at the end there. And here's a final volley just to finish off this video. A lot of more footage will probably come at a later stage, but I hope you enjoyed this alpha test footage.